Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, Episode 7, the second last episode of Season 2. We know we're getting Season 3. Season 4, well, hopefully more people check out the show. Hope more people check out the season. Because this is a damn good show. Maybe not at the same level as Netflix show, but it's still good. Still good. Because, I'm just saying that because apparently only half of us who saw Season 1 has been watching Season 2. And if you say it's because of its bad writing or it's a bad show, whatever, it's history repeating itself. So something about what is appealing, like what making Daredevil an appealing show to, let's say, the online audience is somehow not clicking well with the general audience. Maybe it's more, it's the whole sweet level thing. Maybe it's not that appealing. Maybe it's because it's heavily mature. Like, let's be honest, Daredevil is a mafia show with a guy in a devil costume. Let's be honest with that. Maybe it's a little bit too real. Maybe it's this, maybe that. Like, you had to now analyze what happened with the original show, knowing that that's what happened. So, I don't know, maybe the idea of superheroes doing real stuff. Like, I don't know, what was the viewership with Jessica Jones of Season 1 and Season 2? Was that another massive drop? Did people not want to have, here's a superhero who's tackling with real issues? I don't know. Doing the actual Marvel thing. I don't know. I don't know. But this episode being the second last episode. Oh yeah, comment below. Tell me what you think is the reason that the viewerships keep dropping down for this show. Maybe Daredevil needs to be in a movie. Maybe the character needs to be in a movie. There's a part of me that felt like maybe they should have made Born Again into a movie. Maybe that's the way to go. Anyway, so the episode at hand. This episode, I think, is really solid. Like, this is a good setup. This is, like, the final piece of the puzzle, wrapping up some storylines, like the Daniel storyline. Like, look, I have a feeling that he was going to bite it at the end. Spoiler, that Daniel was going to bite it at the end. By the way, I thought Daniel, when Buck had Daniel on his phone, because if Daniel was talking about he knows something about Hong Kong, I went, wait, hold on a second. Hong Kong. Did Iron Fist it? Like, I was like trying to remember Season 2 of Iron Fist. I was like, didn't Iron Fist end in Hong Kong? Is he talking about Iron Fist? And then immediately, because the name of Iron Fist is Danny Wan, I thought it was, and so Daniel, I'm like, wait, Iron Fist? He's talking to Iron Fist? Is it weird that we're getting excited for Iron Fist? Is it weird that we're getting excited for Iron Fist, knowing that that was the one show that was like, bah-bah. I mean, I think Punisher is also a bit, bah-bah, but was a bit, not so good. But outside of that, like, everybody's like, yeah, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. Like, it's interesting how we all excited for Iron Fist coming back next season. Anyway, but I knew Daniel was gonna bite it. And like, look, the ending, because here's the thing, with that ending of the episode, you had two ways of it going. Daniel kills Buck, which probably would be, knowing how still Buck is very unbelievable. Or you go the route that you went. And that seems to be the more logical, realistic path to go by. Even if, Daniel actually killed Buck accidentally. Like, accidentally hit him, hit his head at the right spot or something. It probably would still be, that's a little bit, meh. So, there's a little bit of that going on with, there's a little bit of that. We have the trial of Karen Page, which, having a good courtroom drama, I like a good courtroom scene, so, that was neat. Of course, the big reveal that Matt Murdock, who probably here's a bit of a question. Guessing what we now know about season 3, are we assuming this is the final courtroom Matt Murdock scene that we're going to get? I feel like it's going to be. I also think Matt Murdock, I think people are going to find out that Daredevil was Matt Murdock. I think that's going to be a situation. But him in the courtroom, it feels like it feels at home. And of course, it also kind of feels a little bit full circle because how the original series started, which was Matt offending Karen Page, and we're back to Matt offending Karen Page, and setting up her freedom and all that. The scene between her and Fist. Actually, there's two scenes with Karen that's really, really good. So the opening scene with him and Fist, her and Fist, sorry, that was great. And then the scene with her and Heather, because you can kind of tell that like Karen is like a little bit like sorry, but at the same time not sorry, sympathetic but not sympathetic. It's like, I know what you're feeling. And she's like, gets, and, Heather's slapping her around and basically saying, don't pity me. And also, knowing paparazzi, jeez, like, these paparazzi shots, I will say this, these paparazzi shots, I will say, like, they're like, okay, spoiler for season 3, Heather becomes Muse. How do I know? Paparazzi. Just like, how do I know that Luke Cage and Iron Fist are showing up next season along with Jessica Jones? The whole Defenders are teaming up again? Simple. Paparazzi shots. Sometimes I wish I just like don't go online. I wish I could just do this and fuck off until the next video I need to make. Sometimes I wish that was the case. But that isn't the case, isn't it? Fine. I won't lie, the action sequence in the car park, I was like, this is a bit weak. Some weird editing, some weird shots. A little bit of like, you could have ended that a little bit quick. You should start that shot there, and there, and this, and this, and this. It just was really badly done. That was a bad action sequence. But, and that, trying to think what else to talk about. Oh, Jessica Jones, when she talks to Mr. Charles and gives us a little reference to Luke, how Luke is working for him, to keep her safe. And I'm like, I was like, this is, once again, it's going to be quite interesting to see, Luke and Jessica again, knowing that this is what happened between their seasons or between their shows. Because what was the last? Season 3 was the final, like, Netflix show, like, season-wise, and Luke showed up for that. So, I think we'll, we'll definitely look. I think it's going to be really interesting to see their dynamic. So knowing that Luke's season ended of him being the king of Harlem, so that's also interesting to see how that turned out. But maybe maybe they are doing the whole mayor thing, like, hey, Kingpin is out. We need some hope. We need some optimism. Here comes, here comes, Luke Cage. Here comes Mayor Cage, and stuff like that. But anyway, and that, and of course, I knew Jessica. Yeah, even though she said, "I'm done. I'm here what I did. I'm gone." She's basically, there's extra footage and stuff like that. We know that she sticks around, and it kind of shows Jessica's kind of like, as much as she doesn't want to be a hero, as much as she keeps saying, Jessica's one of those characters who doesn't want to be a hero, or she keeps saying it, and maybe she believes it, but maybe in truth she actually does. And I wouldn't lie, her having her powers being off and on, A, gives you vulnerability. It gives her a sense. There's a sense of danger, and there's also a sense of she can't. There's easily okay. She can be hurt this time, so there's that. So I like that. When it comes to action sequences, it isn't just her getting shoving people left, right, and center. So I kind of do like that slight change that her powers are off. And it's also a sense of what happens when the thing that might find you. It's kind of like a Kilgrave situation. The thing that you are fine with, which is your powers, what happens when it's not there anymore? Basically Spider-Man. And maybe they'll do a situation where it's more like a Spider-Man 2 thing. Going on with, Peter losing his powers and stuff like that. But I also really like the scene where Jessica says, kind of talks about, like, you need to, there's only one way to end fists, which is, of course, killing him. And I was immediately like, knowing that she's the one who killed her big bad, killed Kilgrave, give a good man still snapping the neck. I was like, this is a neat way, because I'm like, Danny, I'm trying to remember who did it, but like, Danny didn't kill his villains, and Luke didn't do the same, and all that. So, but Jessica did. So it kind of makes you, there's a sense of like she knows what she's talking about, and it's also it's not a situation where it's like Luke. Sorry, it's like Punisher, who's like, put them down and stay down. It's like a more, but it's like a friend to friend. It's like friends talking to friends, and that. Trying to think. That's pretty much it for the rest of the episode. I thought I wouldn't have a lot to talk about in this episode, but it turns out there's a lot there. But this is a great setup. Really flew by. I get it. It's only like a 40-minute episode, this one, if you don't include credits and stuff like that. And the only thing left is like take down Mayor Fist. So we'll probably have a massive big action sequence. We'll have a bit of a epilogue hinting season 3. And hopefully people start watching the show so we can have more shows, more seasons. Please. We gave you the Andor of Marvel, and none of you fuckers are watching it. Great. Absolutely great.